All right. Well, first, I want to throw this off to our two runners here. Let's let ZG introduce himself before we get this run underway. All right, Pussy, do you want to kind of fill in?
That's right. Yeah, Z's not on the stream. They can't hear him.
Oh, they can't hear Z at all? All right,
Z was trying to talk to you all out there, but thank you all for freaking being here. Thank you, Retro Gaming Live, for allowing us to be part of Retrothon. This is a rematch, is what Z was trying to tell you all. We're rematching after pizza time last year. We had raced each other. I actually won that race, but Z has got a much better time than me. So
photo finish, folks. It was amazing.
It was a really close race, so we're getting another run in there. It's going to be a rematch of last time. And Z, I don't think you'll be able to hear him, but give him all the love and support. And then I'm dospostmann, which I thought was funny because I'm right after a DOS game. That was freaking awesome. So I got the DOS hype before the DOS man comes in. And we got General Andrews with us here. He's going to be the main commentary for the run so that we can just focus on running. If you want to introduce yourself.
All right, well, I'm General Andrews, and like you said, I'm the commentator for this run. I'm a big proponent for the Turtles 4 community and just Turtles in general. I think that the Turtles IP is an amazing set of games. Not every single game, let's not pretend, but the majority of them are. So as we get ready for this run here, these two runners are going to make sure that they're on the easy difficulty. They're going to make sure that they have the control type that works well for them. Then they're going to, their lives, it doesn't matter if it's 3, 5, or 7, they're probably going to stick it at 7. Player dash, they're going to change it from auto to manual. And by doing so, by changing it from that, they're going to be able to control their combos. This game's actually like a fighting game on speed, thus creating a very fun and engaging speed run. Back attack's actually the worst attack in the game, even though it looks really cool when you do this quick move behind you. So they're turning that off. And then the color mode that they will alter, maybe not, they can keep it on animation or comic. That's just a preference. So you're going to see Posey rocking comic. And I think ZG prefer, oh, ZG's actually going to be rocking comic as well. Awesome. This is going to be exciting. All right, so let's go ahead and get these runners ready. Gonna make sure that we're gonna get them on the turtle screen first before we do a countdown, because actually this run's timer doesn't start until turtle control. So I'm gonna go ahead and split for Posey when that time is going and ready and rolling. So with that being said, runners, are you ready?
Are we just going to spam from here?
Yes, I would say you just spam as soon after the countdown is done.
We're gonna pick our player at the end of the countdown and then spam through the beginning, Z.
Yeah, go ahead and do it that way. That's fine. All right, are you guys ready? In 3, 2, 1, go! All right, folks. So what's going to happen here is they're going to be starting off on Big Apple in the New York at 3 a.m. And so these runners, they're going to be going as fast as possible, trying to take down the Foot Clan with every possible move in their arsenal. Remember, these are ninjas. They have quite a few that they're going to showcase today. So you're going to see a lot of free super moves. That's where they're flying across the screen, and their foot is just leading the way with fury and might. So now they're going to keep on moving, and they're going to go ahead and try to grab pizzas where they can, fills up your life. They're going to go ahead and use bomb barrels where appropriate. There's not too many in the game, but that one in the beginning is nice. It takes out some of the higher health enemies. So if you did not know about this game has a lot of very specific details. Each foot soldier has a different amount of health. Every move you do has a different amount of damage. And what you want to do is actually not fight every single enemy. The preference would be to actually fight the minimal amount of enemies and move on to the next scene. And that's what these runners are doing right here, right now. Both these two are making it look nice and easy. We got a Baxter fight coming up. Oof. Barely missed the perfect cycle. All right. All right, got him on the ground, which is the preference for the kill. All right, these two keeping it nice and close. Cowabunga. All right, slight lead to ZG. And here we go. All right, this is one of the most narrow levels you'll play in the entire game. You are in Alley Cat Blues. Hence, the alleys that are nice and tight. So you're going to see them take advantage of slants in some of these areas because these foot soldiers have a ton of health. Orange foot soldiers spout 24 HP to their name. Sword blue foot soldiers have 24 health as well. Now those purple foot soldiers have only 16, so that's why you're going to see them constantly use their super, because their super actually does exactly 16 damage. Now you might wonder, what the heck is this awesome throwing off the screen business? I never saw that in the Sega version of this game. You are correct. This is one of the things that Mode 7 brought, was the ability to throw the enemies at the screen. It's actually the fastest way to kill an enemy. So you're going to see them utilize that as often as possible. All right, Metalhead's coming up. Let's see what these two can do. Good starts. All right, about 90% clean there. Let's go. Whew. All right, these two. They just flip-flop the same difference in time. Yeah. All right, so this level, it's a pretty chill level. This is an auto-scroller. You can get points if you want to by killing enemies. They're probably going to both not do so because they're not worried about their live situation in this race. And they're going to save the few frames that it counts for counting down. So you might have noticed it before that the runners are also trying to get their health as low as possible by the end of a level. And the reason that they're doing this is so that they can also, again, save time. Because it takes time for every single countdown that happens in this game. All right. Now, you might have remembered this game from the arcade version. Massively different. You actually have to beat the enemies to progress the level. And the boss fight for it is kind of a very weird amalgamash of pizza monsters. You're still seeing an ode to them in this, but there actually is a boss fight. My toe, my toe. I was curious if you're going to hit your toe, so I waited for it. Usually he does in a run, yeah.
I thought about it. I usually like to, during the live events, hit my toe once just to hear Raph say, my toe, my toe. But this time I figured I'd spare myself the damage.
All right, all right. I was curious. I was like, I'm leaving the opportunity. If he wants it, no? All right.
I know Z is an excellent runner, so I need that 1/10 of a second.
Honestly, the last time they ran, it came down to within a second for their previous race. So I'm really excited to see it. Can this one be within half a second? You know, let's see here. Okay, so now here's something that you typically wouldn't be able to do in the run or just playing this game casually unless you knew. You actually have to wedge yourself into this slot down here. The game doesn't want you down there. So what they did was they held down and right, and now they're stuck inside Rat King's hitbox to make this fight very easy compared to being much more squirrely. All right, great work.
Cowabunga!
Again, there's no... Both runners did great on this fight.
Technodrome. All
right, here's now where you see a little bit of separation because the enemies on this level really start to surround you. Some of the enemies have very quick moves, such as the roadkill Rodneys. That's why you notice they try to attack them ASAP. But anyways, as this continues to go on here, we're going to see them take on some Mausers. These are some evil inventions by Baxter Stockman. And thanks to Baxter Stockman's inventions, if you decide to run this game with a second turtle, be it co-op or 1-player 2 controllers, you can create a glitch that allows you to warp through the game. And then if you're playing this game on co-op, you actually can turn yourself into 2 Raphaels. You say, why 2 Raphaels? Because 2 Raphaels equals max damage for your turtles. And yes, there actually is a preferred turtle that you want to have. And that is why they both chose Raph. Uh-oh, getting surrounded. All right, he got out of it. There we go. Now, using a bomb pizza, you saw this earlier in the alleyway. Bomb pizzas are going to give you 32 damage per hit. The only enemy that doesn't die instantaneously from a bomb spin is a rock soldier. And yes, folks, this is a double boss fight, but they're going to make it look easy by wrapping them up. Woo! All right, our favorite part of the run, elevator action. Ooh, look at that, taking down 4 with just one shoulder. All right, ZG's got a good re-grab here. Oh, now that was unfortunate. Taki decided to get a little sloppy with him. Everyone in the chat, make sure to blame it on Taka, not on ZG. All right, the elevator. The problem with the elevator is as simple as it is, because it's so simple, one single miss really messes with your head. The flip tackle of justice is what I like to refer to it as, because we know the turtles, they do this for us. I don't know why I had an extra enunciation there, but you know, it's for the hype. All right, so this next set of enemies, they're actually going to spawn out of the ground. Ooh, very nice. Okay, folks, so you might have seen that it was a little fun that they were throwing enemies to the screen. You heard that it was a quick way to dispatch of enemies just by throwing them off the screen. Well, guess what? It's the only way you can beat this boss. Tank Shredder will not go down unless you go a la Battletoads and start throwing some enemies at the screen. Whew. Oh, all right, got back to grabbing. Whew. Not too shabby. You gotta love that. The game will still let you do a throw animation even though it's over, and like it ragdolls right out of your hands.
Ring, ring.
Oh. Ring-a-ling-ling.
Someone said ring twice.
No, you did. you were ready for that. I was less ready, even though I read it. All right. Now they are warping back in time.
Prehistoric Turtlesaurus.
Prehistoric Turtlesaurus is going to be where the game again continues to ratchet up its challenge. There's going to be a new set of enemies. That don't speak too kindly to the turtles. Now, we're going to see these two runners that will probably handle them extremely well. And the reason being is that they're both very talented at this game. All right, so what they're going to want to do here is they're going to want to kill these foot soldiers and leave behind some of the flying petrodactyls. All right, these axe foot soldiers actually do have 32 health. But they dispatch them pretty quickly. And yeah, based on the different difficulties, you will engage with different lengths of levels based off of how many enemies there are, and different boss fighting patterns somewhat. All right, again, another nice, well-placed bomb pizza. Using those bombs to his advantage, moving on. Again, CG keeping it nice and close. Even with this death here, it's going to keep them pretty much even. All right. So now this boss coming up here is really tricky. This is going to be Slash. So what they're going to want to do here is they're going to want to stun the boss and keep him stun locked the entire way. Slash has the fastest defensive move in the game.
Oh.
All right. Slash is finally gone.
That was my worst slash in months.
For both of them. So this race now is pretty dead even. Pretty dead even. Let's go.
Skull and Crossbones.
Skull and Crossbones.
All right, so this level is extremely tricky. Why? Because of the fact that there are floorboards, and they're everywhere in this level. So every time you start to get a little bit of a recovery, or an enemy just slightly moves off of the direction that you expect it to move, it creates a ton of havoc for the runners. But you know what's nice, though, is this beautiful ocean they get to look at. All right. Getting rid of that orange guy, old-fashioned style. So if you didn't know, in the difference between this and the arcade game is that you'll be able to intentionally slam or intentionally throw in the Super Nintendo version. Now, another difference also in the Super Nintendo version versus the arcade is that the bosses for the arcade version is Taka and Razor. However, on this one, it's Bebop and Rocksteady. The Super Nintendo version as well is actually the longest of the Turtles 4 iterations, with the arcade game being the second longest and the Hyperstone Heist for the Sega being the third longest of the 3 Turtles 4 titles. Here's an Easter egg for this fight. So if you remember earlier, you had to fight both bosses, Taka and Razor. You actually had to fight one here. And by doing so, they're instantaneously going to fight each other once one of them goes to 0 health. The easiest one to wrap up, Rocksteady. All right, again, these two keeping it close.
Bury my shell at Wounded Knee.
Now here's Bury My Shell at Wounded Knee. Both these runners have very amazing top-tier times on it, but have also experienced unfortunate pitfalls because, again, the foot soldiers are to get even more aggressive. Except when you really want them to be aggressive, then they become passive. Why? Because they want to mess with you. All right, nice throw off the screen here. Get those cat jams going on in chat if you have them, because this is going to be a banger. All right, nice cartwheel. Cartwheel is the most amount of damage you can do in a single move. It actually does 20 damage. And certain foot soldiers have exactly 20 health.
What? I got the extra guy.
Yeah, a late extra guy proposed to you there.
Pizza time.
All right, here we go. Leatherhead time.
Pizza time.
All right, so Leatherhead actually, this is the easiest version of Leatherhead out of any Turtles title. Even with that one mistake like Posty had right there, able to recover. Normally you can't recover in most Turtles games once you give the high ground back to Leatherhead. All right, here's another auto-scroller, but this auto-scroller really takes advantage of Mode 7. So now Mode 7 here is going to have you going forward in the game before it finally will transition to a side-scroller.
That's right, and this level takes place in 2020, if you guys didn't know, which is interesting because it was just a few years ago. So while we were all locked in our homes during the pandemic, this is what was actually going on out on the streets.
Yeah.
That's what we believe anyway.
Right.
It's up to you to decide.
I mean, it makes the most sense because they're ninjas. They gotta take advantage of the best time to not be seen, but also save the world. I think it's really important. You know?
But this is also known by a lot of people as the F-Zero level.
Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo. Wow, wow, wow. Doodly-doodly-doo. This is actual Mode 7. Too much health. Yeah, it's really cool because I remember this type of setup right here specifically for F-Zero, where you kept on seeing the wrapping around of the track, which was also replicated right there. Nice little ode to it. All right, now this fight right here, both of these runners are going to want to do a very specific attack pattern. If they don't, you're going to get an actual extra long 14-second cutscene attack sequence that you can't do anything besides avoid getting damaged. Is all you can do. So they're going to both try to avoid that here by doing the damage in a very specific order. All right, here we go. All right, so far so good. They're keeping it close still. All right, now they're gonna go into the longest level of the game. Now, here's where RNG is gonna finally play a factor. Both runners could be doing amazing. They could be, one could be doing terrible, one could be crushing it, whatever. But Krang actually has RNG on his flight patterns. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen in this amazingly close race by the time they get to the boss. Ooh, unfortunate. All right, but right here, if you notice, it took 2 hits to take down the rock soldiers. That's normal. Rock soldiers actually have 40 total health. Do-do-do-do-do. If you notice, there is just foot soldier after foot soldier after foot soldier. Get those cat jams going. All right, and tons of enemies get left behind right there by doing that backside sequence all throughout there. Foot soldiers get left behind as well by pushing the wrecking ball forward. All right, some stone warriors coming up here. All right, very smooth. All right, another bomb pizza, the last bomb pizza in the whole game. And these runners know exactly what they want to do with each one of those bonus moves. Oh, tried to buy the time. Couldn't quite do so. Come on. All right, so that was a good move right there to actually not get shocked again. All right, now it's coming down to Krang, folks. It is coming down to Krang. You want to see low patterns. This height right here or lower. That's what we want to see for both the runners. So far, Posty's got some good ones. And Posty got a perfect pattern. Trying to see if my feed's not catching up on the ZG one. So hopefully, folks, you know exactly what's going on there. I feel like it's falling behind, further behind. All right.
Yeah, look at all those cat jams.
The final shell shock.
Final boss right here, folks. It's just a boss fight. And the time for this one doesn't end until the name of your turtle disappears. Or sorry, not your turtle. Shredder disappears. I don't know why I said that. So Shredder's gonna have a health bar you're gonna see here. And his name, once his name disappears off screen, that is it for the runners. All right, this runner's time is ending here right now. All right, and I think if I'm looking at the feeds correctly here, I think Postman got that victory. Woo! Just barely.
All because of Krang RNG. Gave it back to me.
Yeah, I think the Krang RNG made a difference. I think it did.
I can't believe I lost Slash, though. Whew. Oh, that was terrible that I lost Slash. Thank you for the GGs.
Get some GGs for both of these runners.
Yeah. The GGs for the ZGs.
Get it for both of these fantastic turtle runners.
Thank you, Jangle, Squirrel, Blue, Opno, Leonard, Shamax, Sinstream, Scotty, OJ Machine, Rotor Storm. If I said any of your names wrong, I'm sorry. Grizzly Bruce, thank you. Diva D with the GGs. NPC, thank you. Canunton, QC, Working Player, Cood Rule, Uncle Rich, the Mustard Tiger, Aramath, thank you, and GG to you, by the way. I didn't get a chance to say GG to you, and I'm so glad you played a DOS game before the DOS run, because I'm DOS Postman, and you played DOS. That was awesome.
Look at all these GGs still pouring on in.
Thank you for the GG. Skin Crawler.
They're just flying. Look what you runners did. You got everyone super
You guys can't hear the ZG, but he's saying thank you for the GGs too.
That's right.
Unstoically Des, Evo, Paul, Lady. Thank you so much.
All right. How amazing to see both these runners doing Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo. There is another Turtles event coming in May. So for those of you that love Turtles runs,
that's right.
Pay attention for it. It'll be promoted by either Postman, myself, General Andrews, or ZG on any of our different social media feeds. It's a one-day event for Turtle Day. Technically, Turtle Day this year is on a Monday, but the event will be on a Sunday. So if you guys enjoy this type of turtle action, expect more turtle action in
and it's called Pizza Time, and all the proceeds go to save the turtles. So it's an awesome event. But also Retro Gaming Live, thank you once again for allowing us to do this run here. You guys are always spectacular to us. I thank everyone who's worked behind the scenes too to make this event happen, and you guys as the audience, thank you for being here. With that being said, is there anything else you want to say?
I think just thank you again to RGL for having us on here, for letting me do my commentary and just making a bunch of shit up on the fly, and for DOS Postman over here and ZG for doing awesome stuff for me to talk about, and for you all to be so supportive the entire way through. So with that being said, we want to send it off to the next runner, folks. Keep that hype going. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah. Hey, have a good one. Thank you so much.